All right, so this will be the first job, the actual first job for the excavator. I'm back at the place where I mulched, and bunch of dozer piles. There's one way over there, one there, and then I think there's like a small one over there. So he told me to rip these trees up because he's wanting to use this for farm, so they can come in here and disc it up and get it ready for the year. So still looking pretty good, mulch. So we're gonna go ahead and let her start, and I'm gonna go ahead and start on these piles. Most of them looks like just a bunch of dirt, and it's got a bunch of trees in it, so I'll have to figure out what to do about that. So I told him I'd get rid of the garbage, but the rest of the debris will be a little bit different story. May have to burn it if we're not in the burn ban. So also it'll be the first job for the new bucket. Pretty excited. I'm gonna check it out, make sure I put everything on right. So I only drove probably about a 5-minute ride, so one chain and then a chain up there should be good enough. Well, not a good day for the old possum. I hurt his backside, so you know what I gotta do. But you can see what I've done. Got a bunch of sand rock and a bunch of stuff pulled on the backside. Just got everything tucked away, and then I'm just kind of throwing dirt here and there, so that way when I start pushing, it'll all fall right into the in little holes. I thought it was a possum holes. But they got a little bit more, and then I've got to go over there. I think that's the one that's got a lot of trees in it. But this one had a lot of dirt and just a bunch of stuff that's really decomposing, but really soft. When you grab it, it busts apart. So I'm just gonna grab it and kind of chop at it a little bit and run it over a little bit, so it should be mixing in a couple rocks, and then the debris I'm gonna put it in a pile and probably try to let it dry out, or maybe just probably just get rid of it. So all right, so it's taking me a couple hours to dig this up. Still pretty cold. Got some big old logs. Some of this I'll have to go back and kind of throw stuff out of the way, big old chunks. So I'm gonna bring the skid steer over and kind of push this out, clean it up and level it up. So you kind of see it's a little bit of a mound here, and it just kind of slopes down. So I'm gonna try to clean it up a little bit. So it's taking me a couple hours to dig all this out, which this is not the biggest one. That one over there is probably at least an acre big. And I've got one over here. So now I've just got to figure out what to do with the rest of this stuff. Probably just throw it down there and let it rot, because that's all rock. Can't really see it, but it's all rock. Got a big old mound up there. It's all wet, so it's been soaking for a while. I mean, it'd take at least a year to dry out, but it's pretty good topsoil in here. A lot of rocks, which I pushed those sand rocks over there. So now I'm gonna head to that second pile, and just kind of, all I did was just kind of knock it down, and then until I can get back over here with a skid steer and clean it up. So that way, because I mean I could do it with this, but it'd take forever. I just think it'd be more efficient with a skid steer. right, so this is the outcome. So I thought about mulching that, because I mean this stuff's really just dead. It's really wet, a bunch of stumps. See what I did? I got to go over there and get that pile up over there, and there's a couple rocks in there. So this is about what they got here. And this was all down to like a little V, so I kind of like pushed it and kind of tried to pack it down, but this is all rock, so you can't really see, but it's got a lot of rock, probably about 3 or 4 inches down. So what I figured about doing, because he said something about wanting to clean it all up, because as you can see, there's you can see the rock right here, so it's all right in here, is rip all this stuff up, you know, just all these little twigs right here, get as far as I can without falling off and hitting one of these with the tracks. So rip them up, and so that way it'll look good, because I mean this being rock, I can throw all this stuff on here and burn it. So I'm just going to kind of rip this out a little bit just to make it look good. All right, so got this little corner knocked out, looking a lot better. Once I get that dirt, push it down here to kind of level this out, so that way it'll drain better. But I had to figure out what to do with all that stuff. Get in here and bunch of piles, ripped everything up. So now I'm just going to kind of get in here and just push everything out, and then so that way they can drive a tractor in here and stuff like that, keep it clean. Rest of this is just all rock right in here. You can't see it until you actually scrape it, and then you'll see white dust. So now you can see this pile right here is the next one. It looks small, but it goes from over here all the way on the other side. So it's an acre probably, or at least 3/4 of an acre of just debris. So get back over here and take all this up, which I kind of clean off right here to the edge. So I may have to come back with a mulcher and get in there the best I can and knock it down. So, but some of this stuff I can probably mulch it down, but I'm not sure if they want to spin that, or, you know, it'll only take me a few minutes to mulch this up. But the bucket's doing pretty good. Lock it pretty good. You can tell the bucket is there, so it's not light, but it's doing a really good job, just because I can move a lot more material than the last time I done the dozer piles. This is for the same person, but it's just a different location. But but you can tell it's still the same debris setup. But with a skid steer, it took me a lot longer than with this one, because I can rake everything back and then throw it in piles. That one I was just having to push it up and then having to find it out after I run it over. But we'll go ahead and push this up and then head up there, and which the fuel's pretty good on this too. I've been here since 8. I'm not sure what time it is now, I don't have my phone, but it's been a couple hours, at least 4 or 5 hours. But it's pretty good on fuel efficient. It's nice and toasty, but it's really cold today. It's also got a little bit of wind. So on the third pile, you can see comes down. This is where they pushed all the remaining dirt from down there up. It's a big old dip right here, so this is gonna be pretty rough. A lot of debris, like they burn it and then they put a bunch of garbage in here. beer bottles, a lot of big chunks, stuff like that. Toilets, car parts, trim parts off the trucks, vinyl siding, which I'm throwing it all to the side, which I'll have to dig through it later. But now I think the best thing to do is go around the edges and rake it all down and out of the way, so that way I can get the excavator tomorrow. I was hoping to have everything pushed away, but I'll just have to finish it up tomorrow. But as of right now, I'm fixing to work my way around the edges and rake everything back, try to get all the rocks out best I can. But still doing good, no leaks. A lot of rocks too. Like right down in there, a bunch of rocks. A lot rest of it's privet, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the mulcher tomorrow. That way I can throw all that stuff down there and mulch it, just so that way I don't have to worry about getting rid of most of it. Got this far corner over here cleaned up. Got some debris moved out of the way. And then just started raking the dirt out just because it drops off right here. So I'm gonna try to take all this, clean this up, and then try to push, because there's a little V on this side, like a little V. I'm gonna have to clean it all out. So trying to get it cleaned up a little bit. And then I sifted through all that stuff, all the garbage and rocks, and threw it to the side. Now I'm trying to get the top side, so what I'll have to do is get most of this and then work my way back up to the top, and then I'm gonna call it a day after that. That way I can get more time to get the excavator or the skid steer going and get the mulcher and the bucket all on the trailer and all that. So trying to get this fixed to get it fueled up. Now I'm getting a little low, so another hour we'll be at our 8-hour mark, so that way I can get me some food. Forgot my lunch.